Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day and all good things are happening to you right now. So in today's video I want to be talking about how to make money as an artist and how to properly price your artwork. It's a topic that I'm always asked about. You guys always want to know what I'm printing on, how do I make my merchandise, how do I price my work. Don't mind that, but you guys are always wondering how I do these things, so I might as well just tell you guys how I do these things. So yeah, that is what this video is going to be about. And don't mind the background noise, like the wind and stuff, because I am outside, so it's gonna be a lot of noise and shit like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and if you end up liking the video, make sure to comment and like and subscribe to me. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome. My name is Nadi. I am a witch and root worker who loves to create black women as supernatural beings and talk about spirituality and stuff like that. So if that's what you're into, welcome. You're part of my family now. You're my child, so you got to stay, period. So let's get into the video. First things first, when you are trying to become an artist, I'm sorry, I started off, but when you're trying to become an artist, there are many avenues you can take to be full-time. One of those avenues, or a couple of those avenues, is doing commissions, Patreon, and printing from home, or like licensing your work. But these three things, Patreon, commissions, and printing from home, making your own prints to sell, those are the things that I currently do besides Patreon, but those are the things I currently do, and that's what I'm going to give you guys information on. So printing from home. Printing from home basically is that you are making copies of your artwork to sell at an affordable price, whereas the original would be a little price higher. You can make multiple copies of that original. So that's what I sell. I usually tend to sell them from around $48 to the lowest I think is $15 for me. So depending on your skills, how affordable you want to make it, and the tools you have, you can price your artwork. I know some artists price their artwork at like $100 or $50 starting out, and I think that's pretty freaking cool. I would love to do that, but I kind of want to keep the prints affordable for you guys. But one day though, one day, yeah. But right now, that's where I keep my print prices at in range. So in order to start printing from home, what you would need is a printer, printing paper, and shipping supplies, of course, to ship out the pieces and the prints and the orders that you're shipping. So the printer that I use, and I've been using this for 3 years since I pretty much started my business, is the Canon Pro 100. It is amazing for beginner artists and artists who wants to start selling prints. It is so good, guys. I'm gonna put the link to everything I'm talking about down below, but I use the Canon Pro 100 right now. It's really good to start printing prints. The only thing that's pricey about that is the ink. So make sure you can afford constantly buying ink when it runs out, because the ink cartridges, if I get the pack, like the 6-pack or whatever, it costs about $100. So that's the only downside, but it wasn't the downside for me, but that's the only downside to printing from home. It is kind of costly, whereas you can have an actual company print your stuff, then they ship it to you, or they ship it out, like Redbubble or like Threadless, stuff like that. But yeah, and then the next thing you will need besides your printer and your printer ink is printing paper. There are different types of printing paper that you can use. You can make it glossy, you can make it matte, you can make it semi-glossy, you can make it textured. It depends on what style you like to do in order to create your prints. So I personally use glossy paper. Yeah, I use glossy paper for my prints, and I use Epson, the brand Epson, to print my papers, and I also use Canon as well. Those are really good brands to use in order to print your paper out. So I like my pieces to be vibrant, so I use glossy printing paper, and that usually makes my prints stand out and be super pretty and gets the colors very vibrant and saturated. So I use those prints. I'm gonna put the link down below to the prints that I always use every single time. You can do different sizes as well. I typically do 5x7 letter size, which is 8.5 by 11 inches, and then 13, which is like the largest size that I do, and I call those like poster prints. You can even do canvas prints, because canvas prints are typically like 24 inches by 30 something inches. I don't know, but they're like the largest prints ever you can use to sell as well. And one day I am going to start selling those. But yeah, you can do whatever size you want, whatever paper type you want, and you also use that printer in order to print those things out. Depending on your budget and how much you're willing to spend, make sure you factor that in when you're thinking about printing from home, because it can get expensive, like I said. So make sure you factor that in when you do it. Commissions. So if you don't know, a commission is basically having another person come to you to pay for a custom piece. I used to do that a lot, and at the beginning it did make me some money, but it was because I was doing like a lot. Like I'll price them really low and do like a lot of prints in order to make money, and commissions in order to make money, and that was kind of draining me. So if you want to go the commission route, it can be very rewarding depending on what you want to draw. If you want to do portraits of people, or portraits of animals, or portraits of like supernatural characters, or like you want to do a commission for a book cover or an album cover, there's different types of commissions you can do, and depending on how you price it, you can make some moolah. So commissions is definitely one way to go. Pricing commissions, it really depends on what you think you're worth, your skill and your value, and how long it takes, and like the minimum wage in your state. So when you are pricing your commissions, do not undersell yourself. Please do not do that. I am begging. Please don't undersell yourself when you're trying to do commissions, because this is a custom piece, and I'm pretty sure you took hours and hours and hours on that piece. And if it's below $20, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong like pricing low commissions, but like make sure you price it to a point where you can actually make profit from it and continue to buy things you want, and also it doesn't drain you. And I had to learn that the hard way. So make sure you price your commissions correctly, and don't undersell yourself. And if just because somebody be like, I'm giving y'all a little pep talk right now, and just because someone's like, oh, it's too high for me, it's too high for them. It's too high for them. They can't afford it, and that's not your problem. Just go to the next person. But yeah, commissions are definitely a way to go if you really like to create stuff for people. Another way to make some money as an artist is to be a patron, or sign up for Patreon. Now, before they changed their little platform to doing like the monthly services and stuff like that, it was really good. I personally stayed on, so I don't have to pay like the subscription type service thing they got going on right now. But if you are looking for a platform to basically, I want to say like make exclusive content for your audience, Patreon is the way to go. When I did Patreon, I did make some nice coins, but it was very draining for me. But if you do Patreon, it can be really fun and rewarding, because you're like giving and creating content for like an exclusive audience and it shouldn't be posted anywhere else. So when you do Patreon, make sure it's kind of exclusive to the point so people will want to come and join you, but make sure to promote it as well. So do things that you can like promote every couple of days, but be like, oh, this is exclusive for these supporters, so if you would love to join my Patreon, make sure to subscribe or like join, and you'll become a part of the Patreon family, and you can get this exclusive content. That's how that goes. So they usually do it by tiers, so you can do a $1 tier, $5 tier, $10 tier, $20 tier. It doesn't matter how much money on the tier you can do. If you would like to do that, do that. To post on page, what you should post on Patreon is like what you personally do as an artist. So if you make tutorials, you can do tutorials, or if you want to do like real-time videos, do real-time videos. If you want to do live streams, do live streams. Make sure your content is consistent. Make sure you are consistent, and continue to post content and make sure it is exclusive, and try not to like share the content that is on there on every single platform, because the allure of Patreon to your supporters is the fact that they're the only ones who can see that, and it's not available to everybody else. Do you understand? So those are like the 3 avenues you can use to create some moolah as a artist. There are more avenues, but I think I'm gonna do a separate video for that because I don't want this video to be too long. So another thing I want to talk about in this video is thinking like a business owner when you are an artist. So a lot of artists be so amazing and so powerful, like they can draw the most amazing stuff, but they don't take off because they're not thinking of their art or their artistry as a business as opposed to like a hobby. So you have to think of your work as not your work specifically, but your brand as a business in order to succeed in this field. So, and that's where I went wrong at the beginning. I was just not focusing on, I was focusing on my art only, and not figuring out the business side of it, like the marketing, finding your niche, finding my audience that I want to market to, taxes, social media. Like I wasn't focusing on the business aspect of it, which the business aspect is like the biggest part of being a full-time artist, because you are an entrepreneur and you are a business owner. So if you do want to succeed in this field, think like a business owner, think like an entrepreneur. With that being said, find your niche and market towards that specific audience. So an example of finding your niche is, okay, for me, I was just creating supernatural beings. I didn't know what audience I wanted to market towards, so I was just marketing towards everyone. I was like, okay, everyone can like my work and enjoy my work, but that's not the best route to take. What I should have done was figure out who likes supernatural beings, where they would be, how I can market towards them, and what times they be on. So my niche for me is astrology, astrology, spirituality, and like sexuality, like the feminine form. That's what I want to market towards. People who are into those things and like supernatural shit. That's who I want to market towards. So now when I put out content and I focus on putting out content, that's who I market towards. That's who I focus my attention on. I don't try to be with everybody. I just focus on that specific audience. So the way I do that is making my Zodiac series that really blew up. So now I kind of make sure that when I do put out artwork, it has something to do with the Zodiac. Like my new series is the Planetary Ruler series, and that is it couples with astrology, and it couples with like that supernatural stuff. So when I create those beings, you will go back to me and you would think, oh, this is the Zodiac astrology girl. I really like the Zodiac. Let me go see her other work. Or, oh, she's the planet girl. I really like the planets. Let me go see her other work. Or since I'm a witch and I'm a root worker, I create like witches and supernatural beings and stuff like that. And I created a tarot deck. So people connect that with me and they'll continue to come back. You see what I'm talking about here? Is it connecting for you? I hope it connects. I don't know. But that's what I mean when I mean find your niche and make sure you market towards that niche that you found. So sit down and answer these questions here. The first question is, who do I want to market towards? Where would they be? And how can I market towards them? And when I mean how can I market, is like build your social media strategy, which is what I'm going to talk about next. But build your social media strategy around that. So speaking of social media strategy, this is what I mean when I say build it up. So be relatable. Try to relate to your audience. Try not to be like really standoffish. If that's what you want to go for, try to do that. But I try to be relatable to my audience and not come off as markety, but still market, if you know what I mean. So I will post little clips of me embellishing my prints because I'm packaging prints. So why don't I post clips of me embellishing them, and then I'll post it online, and the caption will be like, I'm embellishing these beautiful prints of this cute elf princess. Isn't she so cute? and then I'll post that and people will interact with it and they'll tell me if she's cute or not. 9 times out of 10 she is, because she a bad bitch. So they'll interact with that and they're like, okay, so do she have more elf princesses, or do she has more like seer stuff? Do she has more angels on her timeline? And that's how you will draw in an audience and draw in your existing audience to you. Make sure you focus on your existing audience. A lot of artists forget that. Like they focus on like, and not even artists, just business people in general, they focus on getting new customers, that they forget their old customers and their older supporters. So make sure you focus on them as well, because they can continue, you want continuous flow. They can continue to come back to you, and that is what really is going to get you off the ground. So yeah, build up your social media strategy. Figure out if you want to be relatable, or if you want to be like not really. Figure out your brand. What do you want to figure out your brand? Like, what do you want to represent? Like, how do you want to be presented towards the world? So the last thing I wanted to say pertaining to that before I get into the questions is to research the business side. You can never stop researching. That was the biggest mistake I made at the beginning of my art career, was not researching. I just thought, oh, I put out art, somebody's going to find my art, somebody's going to buy it, and that's the end of it. No, I had to research how to market my work, what social media strategy works for me, who I need to market towards, how I can market towards them. Make sure you research all these things and research the business side of it. I actually have this book called Art, Money, Success. It is so good, y'all. I'm gonna link it down below. It's so good. It is really good for artists because it tells you different avenues of how to create money as an artist. It's basically like telling you all the business side of being an artist. Stuff that you really truly need to know. Like, it'll go over taxes, it'll go over like marketing, it'll go over social media strategies. So if you're looking for something and you just need like a start and you don't have a lot of money, that book is like $12 and it's really good. Make sure to invest in yourself as a business owner, because that's the only way you're gonna grow. But it's really good. It's only $12. I'm gonna put the link down below. None of these links are affiliated because it's just not. But yeah, make sure to check out that book, guys. It's really, really good. And I'm not even done with the book, and I've learned so much from it already that I'm already implementing into my business, and my business just is skyrocketing. So 2, I want you guys to check your analytics. So sometimes back in the day, I used to just post willy-nilly and not check my analytics. If you're on Instagram or any platform like Instagram or like TikTok, you can check your analytics because it'll tell you when your audience will be the most active, what days you should post, when they are the most active, stuff like that. So make sure you check your analytics, and based off those analytics, post your post so a lot of people can see it, and your audience that you already have can see it. That's just like one tip I have for you guys. Like, once I realized that tip, it kind of just boosted up my business and my interaction and engagement with my art. So I really wish I knew that beforehand, before I was just posting willy-nilly. It should be, if you change your Instagram to like a business page, you'll see all that information. So now I'm about to answer you guys' questions. So the first question was, what company I use for merchandise? I'm gonna let you guys in on the secret. The companies I use for merchandise and like stickers, for stickers I use the sticker app. It is really, really good. I freaking love the sticker app. I just love them so much. I'm gonna link them down below. Then another app that I use, not app, but like another company I use is Printful. I use that website for like my merch pieces, my apparel, stuff like that. Another website I use is Munchmakers for my grinders. So if you want to start making grinders, go to Munchmakers. I do have some problems with them from time to time, but that's like the only business that sells grinders that do really well with like different colors and stuff like that. So those are the 3 websites I'm going to give to you guys. I think, and that's just like off the top of my head. So yeah, those are some really good websites for like merchandise and like stickers and stuff like that if you want to start selling things of that nature. Another way you can start selling things of that nature is doing like Redbubble or Threadless. Those are really good websites as well. I personally don't use those websites because they take some of your money, like because they ship out all your orders, so they'll have to take some money. And I'll just hell no, that's my money, no ma'am. The next question is, what camera do I use for product photos? It's my iPhone. My iPhone 11. I ain't got no Pro. But yeah, I use my iPhones for all my pictures, for all my videos, for literally everything. So if you have a really good iPhone, use that camera. Make sure you're getting some good lighting and get some like soft boxes if you want to go that route. Or you can just do it outside in a natural light and you can take your photos that way. And then I edit it in like PixArt and Fonto. Those are the two apps I use to edit my photos, to make them a little bit more vibrant and clear and bring up the brightness. If you guys want a video on how to edit your artwork so it can look good when you post it, just let me know because I can definitely do that. Let me tell y'all about Canva. Please get Canva Pro to be exact, if you are an artist and if you can afford it. It's only $12.99 a month. It is the best thing that has ever happened to me. It is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So like I use it for like my YouTube thumbnails, like my artwork, for when I need to create like new flyers and stuff. It is so good. I use it for my blog posts. Like I use it for everything. I use it for my email marketing. Use it. Please use it. Please use it. Please use that shit. Oh my god, it's so good. And another thing you guys can do is, if you do have the means, start an emailing list. Please start an emailing list because you can build up an audience. So when you don't have like the social media audience, you have your social media audience and then you have an email mailing list audience. So it's just like more people coming in and seeing your work or seeing your content and sharing it or interacting with it or buying stuff from it. So make sure you have if you have an emailing list, or make sure you use it, or if you need to buy one and make sure you use it. Like having an emailing list is really good, and it's also fun to send out two emails a week to start helping people. I really love doing that. Last thing is platforms that are good for selling your work. Me personally, I love Twitter for selling. That's where most of my revenue comes from Twitter. I use Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I think that's it. Honestly, I only use these 3 apps off the top of my head, and Twitter is the one where I get the most revenue from. Once you learn how to market on Twitter, it'll be very easy to get more customers that way. So I do recommend to get into Twitter and start going that route. If you guys want a separate video on how to market on social media, let me know, because different things work on different apps. And I'll see like artists from Instagram come on Twitter and they have like so much followers on Instagram, and then they'll come on Twitter and they don't have that much because the way they're using Twitter, they're using it like Instagram, and I'm just sitting here like, I want to help you because it's not the same. And that was me with Instagram. I didn't know how to work Instagram, and I had to learn how to work Instagram because it's a different app. So if you guys want a video on that, let me know. I can definitely do that because everybody needs some help. I know I needed help. I was struggling with Instagram until I learned how to use the hashtags properly, and I just learned that like a couple months ago. So let me know if you want a video on that. I can definitely help you guys with that. I would love to help you guys with that. So yeah, I think that's about it for the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to me ramble about this. I hope you guys got some useful information out of me. If you want some more information, just let me know down below. I can create another video based around you guys' questions so you can specifically know answers to those specific questions you want. But yeah, make sure to stop by my shop if you would love to see some of the artwork I do, because I create some cute shit. Not gonna lie, I mean, I do this thing. But yeah, once again, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next week.